What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today when I talk to you about Lucid, I want to go over some of the current data points, break it down what's really moving it, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So Lucid is down 2.79%, definitely lagging the broader market today. 223 the low, 234 the high, and 61.4 million shares being traded. 133 is the average. So no different than yesterday, and actually I believe the day prior, you had very low volume. Looking at the secondary market, you did see a string of buying first thing, and then you also did have a string of selling right here, roughly around that 9-10 a.m. kind of point. But aside from that, a lot of the transactions today are occurring on the dark pool as well as from algorithmic trading. Today there hasn't been any news from Lucid, no SEC filings, so the market has fully digested yesterday's pretty good news in my opinion. So that's about the hands-free, moving towards autonomous and whatever else. But the big thing for today is we did have PPI as well as Trump drama a little bit. And it's kind of funny. I've been investing for a very long time, and since Trump has come into office this time around, there's been so much drama. It's absolutely crazy. But PPI did come in flat at 0%. Forecast was 0.3. So this is very good. So the market loves this, shows that on a wholesale type of level that inflation essentially is going down. So pretty good stuff as far as that. But when it comes down to the whole Trump drama, it's the market was somewhat iffy at first, so it caused a dip, but market seems to be moving higher because of that. And ultimately, Powell being fired or let go, or however you want to spin it, the market's seeing that as optimistic, thus causing a justified rate cut sooner. So that's kind of what the market does want and has been fixated on for the last almost month and a half is interest rates. So that's going to be the next big thing. So today what is happening with Lucid is very odd because of course I think just people's appetite for risk today is increasing. So the fact that Lucid is lagging is rather odd. The only thing that has really come out was posted by Saudi Bay, and it goes to show Blacklane and Lucid. So there is something there, as I've kind of complained about in the past. Officially, Lucid has not really indicated any partnership. Lucid Saudi Arabia or Middle East, I think it is, on LinkedIn, kind of talked about Blacklane and a partnership, but nothing officially from Lucid. So maybe this is going to be one thing that Mark does talk on in the upcoming earnings. But aside from that, at the time of doing this video, shorts are returning 684,000 shares, 31.39% of the free floats being shorted, works out to be 387 million shares. Whoever is shorting definitely is strategic. And I've brought this up in the past, how they are very good at killing momentum, because if we kind of look at what shorts did on this teal line right here, they went up like crazy. So as soon as the market did open, they were increasing at the peak 4.1 million shares. So they absolutely hit Lucid very hard, caused it to go down, and then as algorithmic trading and just fear kind of started to wave over Lucid, you had shorts return. As you can kind of see, they quickly just doubled down and then returned, and now they're just sitting back, relaxing and chilling out. So very unfortunate. And I think in reality what is happening is Lucid is moving down because it, again, for now the 5th consecutive day, is bouncing off of that 50-day moving average. So I'll go over that in a second. But aside from that though, looking at the options, 1.08 million in calls, 1.03 in puts, 68% of all the options being done are bearish in nature. So not necessarily the best. Aside from that though, bulls are very much adamant that it will be above that 250 for at least a foreseeable future. Bears are anticipating for it to be sub roughly 250 this week, around there, and then looks as though for January and pretty much throughout the whole rest of the year, it will be tapering lower, so $2 and then $1.50. So let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. With it right now at 227 though, trading between this R2 and this R1, so 224 is going to be a strong support, kind of bounce off of that general area, so we know that's a good support level. And then 229 is going to be that key pivot. Ideally, best case scenario, Lucid will be able to close above that, thus being able to piggyback off of the optimism in the broader market and really move higher. And then 237 will be the next strong kind of point to watch for. Aside from that though, there hasn't been any new analyst ratings aside from Andre Shepard. That one came out yesterday, but like I said in my video yesterday, I don't really see that being all that important. As far as new news. There isn't any real things coming out associated to Lucid. So I think now just market has hyped up Lucid's earnings so significantly. Everyone's just patiently waiting. But on the actual chart itself, this is why shorts did hit it hard, because they wanted to kill the momentum for it to not close above that 50-day moving average. You have a very unique circumstance, very tight-knit resistance levels here. So you have 235, that's the 100-day moving average, 233, that is that 50-day moving average. You also have that ALMA at 229. And then the super trend is roughly at 234. So all of that, if Lucid is able to just hit it hard with a lot of good institutional transactions, not algorithmic trading or whatever, then you could see a nice push higher. But I think, as I've stated, the ball's in Lucid's court now, needs to really put out something of substance. And most likely, from what we can kind of tell from Mark's tone, he doesn't really intend on putting anything out up until the earnings, which is again on August the 5th. So today you are seeing a full consolidation, and this is normally what does happen. If a stock hits a key resistance level, it normally consolidates and then you attempt it again. But over the last, 6 days, Lucid has just been pounding at that 50-day moving average, not really able to get above it. And I think in general, strategically, shorts have been increasing just to kill the momentum, no different than today. So let me know your thoughts. Are you buying the dip? Are you selling? In reality, I think today's pullback is not justified. And if Powell is truly fired, yes, that would cause some grayness in the broader market, but I think it is pretty much a guarantee at that stage, whoever is in is going to really do, probably the first time around, a 50 basis point cut. And that would be massive for the broader market. And in theory, very good for the EV sector. So let me know your thoughts on Lucid. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And then one final thing, if you are looking for some solid buy signals, pop over to my Patreon and get buy signals on stocks, options, crypto, many of which have been absolutely on point. Definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.